Today I want to explore why becoming identified with only our mind, our brain, is limiting us in our self-growth, in our evolution, in our enhancement of consciousness. Anytime we become identified with something or someone, we have already limited our possibilities. So, discussing the body has in its structure different layers for this structure to work at its best. When a baby is born, in any given trimester, it's developing different organs and different parts of the body. But when it does so, it's developing everything at the same time. The nervous system, the heart, the arm, the legs, those things that occurred in the first trimester. The brain is not the first thing to develop. There is not a brain fully developed to then develop all the body parts and all the body organs. So what does that tell you? That there is an intrinsic memory and intelligence to the body as a whole that is not related to the brain. We should not identify with the brain because then we limit our perception of everything else in life. That baby is forming well because of a memory that the mother has in her system that allows her to form this baby in a way where he is fully developed and a complete baby. That tells you that the brain has certain or gathers certain type of memory, but the rest of the body also gathers certain type of memory. We are not only a brain. And I'm talking right now about our physical structure, our physical body, because we become identified with how we look, who we are, what the color of the hair is, the color of the eyes, how the nose looks. And we have become identified with only the mind and the brain being what is the most important. And it's not so. So we have a physical structure that contains the brain, yes, but that brain is nothing without nerves and nothing without a spinal cord. And it will be nothing without the blood running in your veins. And you have a heart and lungs and kidneys and a pancreas and everything else. And each organ is as important as the next one. Because for a body as a whole system to work well, all of these organs, including the brain, have developed in a connectivity, in a type of connection that has come from the beginning, from the inception of this species, of this living form. This living form, through many, 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 many years, have gotten to where we are because it began this evolution together, in togetherness, in connection. Because when an organ malfunctions, another one will start malfunctioning. And you know this, everything is intricately connected. Everything is intertwined inside our bodies. So when it comes to the physical body, do not only focus on the brain, on the mind, because the whole body has memory. The whole body remembers what job it needs to do. Each organ knows what job it needs to do without you telling it to do it. Because if we had to tell our organs how to work, we wouldn't do anything else. Think about it. We wouldn't be able to function if we had to give instructions to the cells in our body to do what they need to do, to the molecules in our body to tell them what they need to do and where they need to go and what function to do in this organ and what function to do in another organ. So you see, not everything it's about the brain. The brain has a very, very relevant function in our lives. But when you only identify with that, you begin to, not giving the proper relevance to everything else. And then your life is going to become only just going through a path where any mental activity is what will work in your life for you. So when it comes to the physical structure, just bear in mind every cell, every organ, our skin, our hair, everything is relevant. Don't limit yourself when it comes to the physical structure, and don't limit yourself to the way you look. Because just as in the animal kingdom, each species look a certain way because in their environment, that's how it was best for them to survive. And we, depending on geographically where we have lived and our families have lived for generations, that's how we look. So don't become identified with that either, because you're going to limit your possibilities of growth and progress as a human being. And the physical structure, that is a very, very easy thing to become limited. But the most relevant thing is to know the body holds memory. The whole body has memory at every level. If not, a baby could not form, because like I said, there is no brain in the mommy's tummy just waiting for the baby to arrive to make it whole. After and within this physical structure that we have, our bodies, which we have to appreciate every single day and take care of it, and understand how important health is for us. We have our emotions that we need to take care of as well. And the emotion or the emotional body has its ability to give us suffering, or to give us well-being, or to give us pleasure, or to give us depression, or to give us happiness, or sadness, or joyfulness. All of this is coming from your emotional body. That means our hormones play an important role in how we feel. To have a balanced emotional body is very necessary to have a balanced life. So we have a physical body that we discussed. We have a mental body that includes not only the brain, but the memory of the whole body. We have an emotional body that includes our hormones, and that when it is not balanced, nothing else in our lives is going to work properly. Why? Because the cells and the memory in the hormones, they recognize what mood we are in. And whatever mood you're usually on will continue like that. It recognizes your mood. And if you are usually a happy person, you will continue to be one. If you're usually a sad, depressed person or are going through an episode, it's going to recognize that. And it will continue to be like that unless you change it, unless you go from depression to happiness again. It can continue like that. Hormones in our body are very, very powerful. Very powerful. So that is the emotional body, and it needs to be in balance. Everything needs to be in balance. The same way I was explaining, the whole body works in union and in balance so that everything else within us work well. The emotional body needs to be balanced. For our mind to work well, the emotions need to be in balance. For our physical body to work well, the emotions need to be balanced. Under these layers, we have an energy body, because, nothing in the material world, nothing in the physical world forms without a push of energy behind it. Everything in this physical form that we live, everything works with a stream of energy behind. Energy is what makes everything possible. And once it made something possible, it sustains it. Which means if we don't sustain our energy body well, our emotions, our mental body, and our physical body are going to suffer. Because all this means is that we don't have the necessary stamina and strength and sustenance to go through life, to go through our activities. How does this manifest in real life? We're always fatigued, we're always tired. We can't wait for the day to finish, to sit in a sofa couch or to go to bed. So the energy body needs to be strong, working well. And we need to keep it well by doing the right things to energize it, like doing physical exercise, walking, but walking nature, so that the experience of the whole body is enhanced. It's different when you walk in a treadmill than when you walk in nature, for instance. Try different exercises so that different parts of the body are included in this well-being. So you see, the energy body within ourselves give us the sustenance and strength to continue. Every organ in the body, every cell in your body needs energy to function. The same way it needs oxygen to function. If the energy is not there at the right level, we will not have this vibrant life that we all should have. So what is below this energy body? There is a spiritual body also that we have, or layer, if you want to call it like that. And what this spiritual layer or body means, this is what allows to be in connection with everything else. But not only to be connected to everything else, other people, the environment, nature, animals, plants, everything that is out there. You can only feel a connection with this when your spiritual body it's alive. When you have made the proper connection and union with everything else, this spiritual body flourishes and it enlarges and becomes bigger and greater with the more connections you make with everything else. And it's not only for our connection with everything else, it is for our own connection. Because when your spiritual body is there working well and properly, then you and your own layers, you become one. So you're not only a walking human being with a body. No, you're a true human being in connection with your whole self. Because now the spiritual body was able to connect everything else in union. Your physical body, your mental body, your emotions, your energies, now are all connected through your spiritual body. And you won't have one day in your life where life won't feel wonderful to you. When your happiness is not there, when joy is not there, when health is not there. Because this connection of yourself through this spiritual body means that you will always know what to do. You will always know how to act. You will always know when you're becoming sick and what to do and why is it that you're sick? Why is it that you're not feeling well? You will know these things without going to anybody else. So it's very relevant to understand all the layers of our body and not to make identifications with any. Because like I said, when you become identified, you limit yourself. And the best and most happiest way to exist is in union and in connection with you, everything you working as a whole and working in union with the environment that surrounds us, which includes people. That is the topic of this video today, so that we understand that we are more than just how we look, and we are more than just the information we have gathered in our heads. We're much more than that. And the best way to live and to exist here right now is to evolve, to know these things and experience them for yourself. It's the only way to transform your life and live the way you want to live.